So tonight we're going to do, instead of the evening, we do the evening chanting until Namo Tassa. Okay. And then after that we'll do some reflections. We'll do the highest blessings on page 38, and then we'll do the one on page 64. So there's one the evening chanting until Namo Tassa, Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Then the one on page 38, I think, yeah, on page 38. And tonight I would like to dedicate the chanting to Mr. Da's cousin called Ranjana Katru, for his wife who is suffering with knee problem and who has been advised to get knee replacement done for both the knees. So we share blessing with, I don't know if it is Ranjana his wife?
Yeah.
Okay, for Ranjana then. Yoso Bhagavālaham Samma Sambuddho Sawakato Yena Bhagavata Dhammo Supatipanno Yasa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Dhammayam Bhagavantam Sadhamma Sasangam Imehi Sakarehi Yata Laha Alopitehi Abhipujayama Sadhunu Bhante Bhagava Sutila Parini Bhutopi Pachima Janata Dukam Pamanasa Ime Sakare Dugata Panaka Prabhute Patiganhatu Amhakandi Garata Hitaya Sukaya Alaham Samma Sambuddho Bhagavam Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivate Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammam Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sangha Namami Handamayam Buddhassa Bhagavato Pubhavaganamakaraṁ Karomase Mutassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. We can bow. And when we can sit in polite posture normally. Second half of the chanting bit. Page 38. Now let us chant the verses on the highest blessings. Thus have I heard that the Blessed One was living at Savatthi, residing at the Chithurst Grove in Anathapindika's park. Then in the dark of the night, the radiant devas illuminated those Chithurst groves. She bowed down low before the Blessed One. Then standing to one side, she said, Devas are consumed with happiness and ever long for peace. The same is true of humankind. What then are the highest blessings? Avoiding those of foolish ways, associating with the wise, and honoring those worthy of honor. These are the highest blessings. Living in places of suitable kinds, with the fruit of past good deeds, and guided by the rightful ways. These are the highest blessings, accomplished in learning and craftsman's skill, with discipline highly trained, and speech that is true and pleasant to hear. These are the highest blessings, providing for mother and father support, and cherishing family, ways of works not harm new beings. These are the highest blessings, steadfast in restraint and shunning evil, generosity and a righteous life, offering help to relatives and kin, and acting in ways that leave no blame. These are the highest blessings, steadfast in restraint and shunning evil ways, avoiding intoxicant that does the mind, and heedfulness in all things that arise. These are the highest blessings, respectfulness and being of humble ways, contentment and gratitude, and hearing the Dhamma frequently taught. These are the highest blessings, patience and willingness to accept one's faults, seeing venerated seekers of the truth, and sharing often the words of Dhamma. These are the highest blessings, ardent, vomited to the holy life, seeing for oneself the noble truth, and the realization of Nibbana. These are the highest blessings, although in contact with the world, unshaken the mind remains. beyond all sorrow, spotless, secure. These are the highest blessings. They who live by following this path know victory wherever they go, and every place for them is safe. These are the highest blessings. Then we do the Nibbana Sutta, which is on page 64. Handamaya Nibbana Sutta Patam Banamase Ati Bhikkhave Ajatam Abhutam Akatam Asankatam. There is an unborn, unoriginated, uncreated and unformed. No chetam bhikkhave abhavisa ajatam abhutam akatam asankatam. If there was not this unborn, this unoriginated, this uncreated, this unformed, naidam jata sabudha sakata sasakata sanisaram nam panyayeta. Freedom from the world of the born, the originated, the created and the would not be possible. Yasamachako bhikkhave ati ajata abhuta akatam asankatam. But since there is an unborn, unoriginated, uncreated and unformed, tasamachata sabhuta sakata sasa nisaranam panyayatim. Therefore is freedom from the world of the born, the originated, the created and the formed. New session for the day, the formal practice. So sit upright, establish a good steady posture that supports your vigilance and mindfulness and energy. And at the end of the day, you can just let the world go. To today's world, you can let it go. And just be very present with the inner landscape of your mind and body right now. Just whatever you feel, whatever you're in contact with, you just observe without making much of it. You're getting to know clearly feelings, perception, thoughts, consciousness, and the body sitting. You don't have to have a list, you can just observe, and whatever you see or hear or feel, or you just note it. Don't make anything of it. Don't linger on it for unnecessarily. Just note it and relax your mind.
Right.
No, I'm okay.
ब्रह्माचलोकाधिपति संप्रति पतंजलि अंधवरंगवदयाचत संतिद्ध सत्ता अपरक्ष जातिका देशे तु धम्मं अनुकंपिनम्.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sangham namasami. So we're coming to the 26th today, isn't it? 26th of December 2018. Coming to the end of the year, the beginning of a new one very soon. And noticing how we are affected by this time. We're halfway through the retreat. Has our mind created any perception about this movement of time and how we are affected by such external things like time, season, ending of year, ending of months, Christmas. In Europe, it's a big thing. It's Christmas signs everywhere. It's a great present time, present gifts, great gift time with Christmas tree and everywhere. So it's very festive, very happy. Family tends to get on for a little while, long enough to spend a good holiday together for 2-3 days. So it's lovely that some other people spend time meditating and practicing Dhamma. At Amaravati we have an end of the year retreat, called a New Year retreat. And it's quite a popular one because it's a significant time when we start another year. So we have a big bonfire at the end of it, and everybody brings all the things they want to let go, and all the intentions they want to determine for the year, even if they forget it the next day, never mind. At least one day is better than none at all. So this is what we are part of, a world of, we celebrate things, we have certain period dedicated to certain things, others to other things, kind of compartmented a little bit, limits, and even on retreat, even in a monastery, everything is organized. I never used to wear a watch when I was a laywoman, but since we're not supposed to wear a watch, but you have to have a watch on you if you can. It's something that gives you the time to go there, to that meeting, and this meeting, and the meal, and after the meal, and it's incredibly timed lifestyle. And like in a retreat as well, you have to be a certain time sitting, walking, eating, lulu, sitting, walking. So, life has its way of organizing itself to help us sort of do what we have to do, simple things, or not so simple things. But one thing I noticed since I've been teaching here is that there's a lot of, it's just life is alive. As if Buddha Dhamma could just bring down everything to a rest, and we could know everything without having to notice anything. It's just like it should happen somehow. If I'm sitting and I'm doing my mindfulness practice, why do I have problems? Why I'm still kind of turbulent and angry and upset and fighting with my neighbors and aggressive with my own anger? Why am I so emotional still? And I look at men, you think they have no emotions, because I know other women, I'm one of yours, we have lots of emotions, but now I know well enough that there's plenty of emotion in any bodies, just some of them have, by social etiquette, make sure that it will not come out too much, otherwise the workplace will be hell, not just the women being emotional, but also the men. So at least you have one side that just kind of keep things a little bit in balance. But balance doesn't mean health, does it? That kind of balance or suppression or whatever, or not manifested, not visible. Something not visible doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Still there. And that's one of the things that I really noticed, how much there is such a kind of being surprised by the fact that you're still alive as you meditate. Life continues. And what you investigate when you do, some people were asking about investigation, it's just life as it comes. You don't have to have a book with you. When somebody comes towards me with a big smile, and I notice over the years, the feeling, happy feeling I have when somebody is kind and smiling and happy. I just get a happy feeling. I don't make a big deal about it. I just notice, this is where I'm learning. When somebody comes with a gentle, friendly face, I feel good. When somebody is all kind of self-involved and anxious and worried and so on, I have different feelings. Do you understand? And that's investigation. That's why I learned a lot of things through just noticing how I feel about life. When I speak a certain way to people, they don't react so nicely. If I'm kind of a bit pushy and a bit, sort of, even I may be absolutely right. Still, the tone of my voice does seem to kind of shake them and get them all disturbed and not being able to hear what I have to say. That happened at the workplace, doesn't it? Why did they kind of look at me so horribly as if I was a tyrant? Well, it's only because you just touch their own tyrant inside and woke them up. And they don't like it. They don't like being off or... You're researching what life is all about. And you don't have to go very far with the Buddha. We don't have to travel the whole world, to find out what life is about. This is a young generation from the 60s, they had to cross all the way to India and to Australia, from America, from Europe, All my hippie friends, they all spend years in different countries, very far away to find out, and finally they come back to Switzerland or to France, and they're all kind of sitting on their meditation, finally noticing what the world is. There's a sutta in somebody where somebody comes to see the Buddha and says, the world, what is this world? What is the world? Talks to the Buddha, asks the question, how do you go, how do you cross it? The Buddha says, well, you do not walk the world, you not come to the end of the world, not by walking. Yet, there is no end of the world without the end of suffering. And the world in Buddhism, it's really the world of, as I take it, the world that we create out of delusion. Do you understand? The world of suffering, the world of misery, the world of I misplaced, instead of being I that knows that it doesn't really exist forever. We have one that's constantly in place and is suffering every time it gets shaken up. It hasn't understood that it's impermanent and satisfactory and not self. So it stays there. It becomes unsatisfactory, when you don't want this I anymore. Maybe something else needs to come up. Do you understand? Yeah? You don't want to. Maybe you have an I that functions with this situation, but not function with that situation. With some people, maybe with kids, you are very sweet and kind and loving, With a bully friend, you have to kind of make sure that they know that you know what they're up to. Yeah? And you learn through psychology, psychotherapy, psycho, all the great truth of boundaries. That's a big one in the modern world, Find your boundaries. But energetically, we're mixed up, We're all mixed up. We don't know how much we pick up from our neighbors, our friends, and so on. We pick up a huge amount of things. So the boundaries comes from with mindfulness, You know this has a reason in you. You don't even know whether this has a reason in you due to something else, external. But nevertheless, it's me that's experiencing it. And if I'm experiencing it, there is danger that it turns into something unskillful or big proliferation about thin air. Nothing much. Yeah? And doesn't give a good result. So, the most important thing is really the fundamental aspect of a good life is to know oneself. I mean, the Greek philosophers used to say that. You don't have to wait for the Buddha. Do you understand? He just gave us a magnificent map and path to realize these truths, these universal wisdom truths. Yeah? The fact that everything is impermanent. Well, there's big philosopher who says, never the same water pass under the bridge, Impermanence. I don't know if it was Heraclitus or somebody else, I can't remember, but this law of anicca is known, but the Buddha brought it all the way to the source of life. I mean, this is quite unique. All the way to the place where the life begins, I mean the world begins. So you don't come to the end of the world of suffering by walking it, or continuing to experience it, thinking that one day it will be finished, but by simply, knowing the mind, knowing yourself, knowing that if you don't see suffering, you don't come to the end of the world. There's no end of the world without the end of suffering. So each moment can be transformed into an opportunity to end suffering. Now, with our natural greed and lack of vision of the discontented mind that never gets enough, we perpetuate, so we keep turning, going back to the same old misery, because we are not contented with what we just saw, just now. We miss it. We miss great truth all the time, because we're busy trying to find it. We're so busy to remember what we should do to discover Dhamma, the truth of Dhamma, that by the time we're so busy, then yes, how easy it is to miss the Dhamma, especially when you start practicing in daily life, which would be a shame if you only practice on a 10-day retreat. Because in a way, I don't know what it is to practice in daily life as a lay woman. I mean, I've done my own practice before I was a Buddhist nun, but I was really, though, very interested, not so much, I don't know Buddhism. If you find something makes you miserable, investigate it. Why is it miserable? Why does it, what is it that, why do I think it shall not be miserable? Did I do something to make it miserable? Is there a cause for it? And why do I have to blame myself if there is a cause? It must be me. I'm a terrible person. And if we are not so, advanced on the path, then never me, so as somebody else. Blame somebody else. Huh? Some people are addicted to blame other people. It's extraordinary, I feel sorry for them because it's going to take such a long time to find peace. Before you kind of sort out the whole world, all the people you blame for your suffering, it's going to be a hard work and a long trudge. Right? At least the Buddha brought it right back to us and say, okay, now you can walk the path inwardly. And you can start, basically, taking responsibility for your life. Not to wait for somebody to carry you along. That's what we do a lot of the time. We just love blaming somebody who does not carry us along. Does not take care of yourself, of us. But do we question, what do I do to be taken care of? Do I need to be taken care of? Maybe I can do it myself. So that sense of personal responsibility is really important on the path of practice, because if you don't do that, then you always have to be feeling that you need to be fed by others. You need to, you don't take the sense of bringing everything back, into your hands and actually saying, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And there's so many good advice and good teachers nowadays. It's not like we're missing. It's not the time when all the spiritual teaching was secret, in the West. They were secret because when you have you go into the mind, I understand better. I don't know if it is true or not, if my understanding is correct or not, but I realized the reason why I became a nun myself is I realized when I was having more contemplative, contemplative approach to things, going silent, being quiet, and so on, I realized there was a whole area of the mind that I didn't have a clue what the mind was, and I felt I need some help to find out how to navigate through the chitta. I mean, I don't call it the chitta at the time, just to navigate through my life, inner life. Do you understand? Because this is not so easy. Most people are not, one, if they're not interested. Two, if they are interested, they go crazy and say, they think they're Jesus Christ or the Buddha straight away. Doesn't take much, you know. And if they don't think Jesus Christ, she's the goddess of nature or whatever. I mean, I've had students like that, you know, in 2 days they just crack up and think they are totally convinced they are the goddess of Mother Nature or something, goddess of spring or... You can't convince them otherwise. Just at some point, their mother come and pick them up and they help them, you know. Yes. We had a few over the years, you know, because young people tend to kind of, I don't know, they concentrate too hard with no wisdom, you know. They have lots of energy, so they can really go for it, you know. Then their ego just completely is dismantled. They can't recognize themselves at the end of it. Don't know how to put things together again. So that's why we need good mentors, good teachings and good practice. But the fundamental thing is like the wisdom of just being ethical with oneself, you know, not just with others to look good. Ethical with oneself. So if you want people to really respect you and trust you, you have to be trustworthy and respect yourself, worthy of respect. That's one of the things I learned in the community. Don't expect anybody to respect you if you're not really worthy of respect or worthy of trust. If people are gossiping all the time, talking behind backs and complaining to this person about that person, people eventually don't trust you anymore. Do you understand? They get a sense, you know, the world goes around quickly. The world is like a big city of whispers. Chinese whispers, well known in Europe, you know. You say, you know, she threw the rat out of the rat box, or the mouse out of the rat box. You know, 2 days later, she killed the dog because he had a mouse or something. You know. It's a joke to say something like that, but truly, you know, the gossip line goes on and create havoc in society, create havoc. You can see with the media thing. I mean, what's going on in the media in the world at the moment is horrendous. When I look at the news in France, you know, it's like a war. Which is not a bad idea, because a lot of things are just created so they can sell the newspaper, you know. So I think there is a big change happening in the world right now. Don't know in India, but I think it's probably the same. Anyway, to go back to ourselves, you notice it's the life we're observing right now, which is the source of our world, remember, from the Dhammapada. Right? The mind is a forerunner of all things. They come from the mind and they are mind-made. And Buddha is practical, you know, if you really act in a way, and I'm not paraphrasing a little bit, you know, if you act in a way that's skillfully, then happiness follows you like the foot of the ox follows the wheel of a cart. And then all things come from the mind-made, and the mind is a forerunner. If you ask unskillfully, unethically, if you break your precepts, if you have taken them, break your precept again and again and again, then the Buddha, he doesn't say about that, he just say, if you act unskillfully, misery follow you like your own shadow. Is that the other way around? Foot of an ox okay, so that's okay, so thank you. So happiness follow you like your own shadow for happiness, and for misery follow you like the foot of an ox follow the wheel of a cart. You see, you were smiling when I said the first version, and I thought, God, I got it right. I thought I didn't get it wrong. He was smiling, thinking kind of, yeah, that's right. So, we have so many reminders of the Buddha, to help us to live. But we spend our whole life, we can spend our whole life complaining that's not working. What a waste of time, honestly. It's complaining. We just continue to complain our mind. It's like got a Buddha, got a wonderful teaching, got everything. But I can't do this because of that. I can't do this, and I'm so unhappy, and my life is a misery, and my kids are not good. We carry on the whole record of miserable habits. Like I remember. When was it? I go back to before I was a nun. I was reading a teaching of Krishnamurti, and he said, thoughts, the mind thinking, come from fear. So that really intrigued me, I remember. I thought, what does he mean? Thought and fear together. So I just was very loyal, and I just say, let's experiment. Let's see how it works. So I did my little experimentation, and I noticed as soon as I was worried about the future or something, I started thinking. Think. Okay? But I also noticed that when I was having a nice banana split ice cream, all my thoughts disappeared. I was into a very happy feeling. Do you understand? When you are happy, maybe the thought abates a bit. And when you are worried, anxious, greedy, upset, resentful, whatever, the thought inundates, flood the mind. Think about that. Notice when you're happy. Do you think a lot? Right, that's why the Buddha insists on metta and loving kindness. Not because it's going to purify the mind instantly. It creates simply a foundation that's going to work for you. To find a sense of balance and a certain degree of peace in oneself, where you can tolerate yourself without having to shake up the boat constantly. You are at peace with yourself for a little while, and then you can see what's going on. That's what it means to balance the factors of meditation, And we learn that slowly, because at first we have lots of concentration but little mindfulness. Maybe we're very mindful, but it's all over the place. The mind is all over the place. Right? We put too much effort or not enough. You notice that. Too much effort, you get a headache. Traditionally speaking, it is said. Not enough effort, you find your nose on the carpet. Very quickly. I mean, not every time, but basically you fall asleep. It might not look as if you fall asleep. Some people can fall asleep looking very straight. That's the ultimate kind of tricks, isn't it? I don't think people do it on purpose. I think it just happened. You know what I mean? But I don't think they're more lucky. At least when you bop up and down, you feel so remorseful, and unless you mature into knowing that when the body is tired and exhausted, you will be doing that and sick and not well. It's not the end of the world. The body has limits. Okay? But most of the time when you're young enough, you think you should not be like that, and you feel so remorseful next time you're like, oh, and then at some point, sideways, I've seen monks, don't worry, even monks who are very well known, going like this for years. Or bopping up and down with no qualms whatsoever. I was so impressed, because my ego would be twisted in knots, or being perceived as a lazy bum, This ego is very useful. I mean, Sorry if you get confused, the auditor. I always say, life is a win-win, situation. Ego is very useful because it's so painful. Do you understand? With ego it hurts. It hurts so much. Hurt is okay, but ego hurting, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Somebody hurt me, my ego is not involved, it's like hurting the neighbor. I don't feel the hurt of the neighbor. Do you understand? It's not a big problem. I see he's trying to hurt me. It's like he's having a problem with me, he's trying to hurt me. And maybe if the hurt is still there as a karmic force, it will be felt. But I won't go back and straight away shoot back at them, You idiot, look at you do the same thing as me. Look at yourself before you criticize others, So, here we are, with this ability to be kind of deceived by ourselves with great gusto. We don't do that with kind of timidly. We're just completely confident just to pretend that things are all right when they are not. And society, let's face it, really insists that we look the part that they want to see. Look the part. As a woman, you have to be pretty right to the end of just on your deathbed. You can just give yourself the chance, of just collapsing into a mass of dust, If you go, It's hard, isn't it? See, I've seen people with a lot of curls and makeup, on their deathbed. I don't think they minded themselves really. By the time they were where they were, they couldn't care less for having curls or not. Before the leaving, it's important that they're kind of remembered of the face they knew, if they can, at the age of 25, when they are 80 or something. So we have a lot of learning to do in this life, because even when you talk about situation of death, dying and so on, I've had the opportunity to see many people dying and to see many people on deathbed, but what's inspiring is to see when people have practiced, they can have a very beautiful death, very conscious and very beautiful. Peaceful, even with the pain and everything, it's still the peace with the pain. It's quite amazing. I've seen people dying the day before they were invited by the Sangha to facilitate a workshop on metta. That person was himself a Dharma teacher, And he was in a great form facilitating this, and he died during the night after the next day, in the night, in the early hours of the next day, whilst exactly at the time when the monks were chanting the Patimokkha. Probably he had a few paramita. It's very touching. But anyway, I'm really what I'm addressing. I had all kinds of topics to talk to you about, but I realize this is an important one for all the people I've talked with and the question I received and so on. It's really it's so much fun to live with life in a kind of in a way that's creative, because each moment is new, and also transformative, because every time you let go, every time you understand something more deeply, better, you actually transform the mind, heart, body, everything. Yeah? But for that you need reminding, because the mental states will just collapse you, very often into despair, to a heap of despair. So this is why the practice is important. It's a way of resetting a little bit the whole engine, You reset it. But once you reset it and you feel good on the good concentration, mindfulness, energy, balance, then you're going to face what? You're not going to face the quiet mind anymore. You're going to face life. And life, if you know the energetic sense of life, you're not just you're going to face a fire. It's not going to be easy. You're going to face a fire that's going to require constant mindfulness. So, why should we be unhappy with something that brings us so much mindfulness? You see, you're looking for 10-day retreat everywhere to develop your mindfulness. You have life right in front of your nose to develop intense, profound, deepest mindfulness you can find, and you miss it. You complain, I don't have this, and I've got to do a retreat again. Of course, my mindfulness is not working. You're just not using it. That's the only thing. Because you have accustomed yourself to think that mindfulness goes together with a nice, happy, peaceful mind that just don't create any problem. I don't have to talk with anybody. My mind, I can just continue. Anicca, dukkha, anatta, Vedana, Sukha, Dukkha. Now the Kama Sukha, whatever in Pali, I can't remember how you. Neither Dukkha nor Sukha, neutral. So we get used to a kind of holiday from our mind in meditation. We get a little holiday. We are hoping for the holiday. Eventually we get it. We cling to it like madly. Hopefully we can get it until the last 10-day retreat. And then you go back to life. And that I have to prepare people, before they go back to life. I say to be prepared. Now, you feel good, you feel wonderful, you feel elated, radiant, peaceful, patient, and so on, Be prepared for the world now. You go back home. Life has a way of testing, which is amazing. It's such a stage life, It has all the character to test your equanimity, test your ethic, test your peacefulness of mind, So people go back home, and come back sometime to me to tell me, my friend went back home and joke. They still had a sense of humor a day later. A few days after that, they kind of start dwindling, and they take themselves seriously again, you see. For a while, they don't take themselves seriously, so life is easy. Anybody can talk to you badly, it's fine, it's just their problem, really. Not a big deal. But at some point, it starts sticking more and more and more and more, and by the time it sticks, like you're just ready to punch right, left, and center. And then you say, oh God, I've done a retreat for 10 days, and that's all I've wasted my time. You haven't wasted my time, you just met life as it is. Do you understand? Not a big deal. So they go back home, say, gosh, what I've been doing on this retreat? Look, I've been washing up is waiting for you because I'm not going to do that. And then they lose their temper a bit, they kind of can't quite keep it together, smiling and being kind to themselves. They start losing their temper, and then the wife or the husband continue. Is that all it does to you, Buddhism? You're really angry, you just do the retreat. Wow, and you're telling me it's working? You must be joking. I think I'm going to go to another tradition, Maybe just pray all day long, shut up and and call for the higher forces, But that's how it works, This is a funny one. It's not so funny when you're the character in the story. Of course, I used to say I never talk about my funny stories until I've really made peace with it, because now I know the most tragic moment of my life has become the most funny story of my teaching, But you won't do that straight away because it has hurt, And it has been really difficult to bear with for a while without wanting to lash back, So, when you feel that you have, there's a problem or something, just wake up. We should have, we have all these gadgets. It's interesting. We have all these gadgets. You could be a multimillionaire if you want, with Buddha Dhamma. we have all this gadget nowadays, you know, to do this, to do that. I mean, nothing comes to mind because we're not into gadget at the monastery, but I'm sure we don't have all this gadget, you know, it's like in the sitting room, you know, TV, you have like bing, stop. You know, like you can't open it again until your mindfulness has increased. Won't that be wonderful? The energy of mindfulness, you need mindfulness to actually start a machine again. Now listen to the creative mind here. Or have metta. You have the program that can work with metta. You have the other one with mindfulness. You have another machine that could work with emptiness, you know. Let go of everything. Right? Wouldn't that be fun? Then you have nothing to do. Or at least you have, because you'll be working for your TV, for your film screen, for you know, be working to get something. Do you understand? That's why the Buddha didn't propose that. I'm sure he could have brought up a gadget, you know, to say, well, I don't want to talk on behalf of the Buddha, but he did say if you meditate, you get wiser, you can get wiser, you know, so that's an incentive to meditate. Yeah? And sometimes people don't get wiser, they just get bogged down with me. Because me complain all the time. If you can't do it, then take care of your problem. Don't expect anybody to do it for you. That makes sense? It doesn't work. I mean, somebody can just, mollycoddle. I like this word. Mollycoddling. You know, like being kind and sweet, it's all right, you know, don't worry, it will pass. You're okay, and so on. It's a nice word in English. Molly and cuddle. You have to be French to find these things funny. There's something in the English find molly cuddling funny. But in French it sounds very funny. Anyway, fortunately we have good friends that can mollycoddle us. Be friendly with us, in other words, be accepting and be forgiving and so on, you know. And that helps because that creates a sense of well-being for a little while. And we do need that sense of well-being to practice, you know. If there's no well-being, it's very difficult to look at dukkha. If you believe in dukkha still and you don't have the balance somewhere of what we call the paramita, to feel good about yourself. When you do something good, you help others, you make, like Goenka has done a fantastic thing, hasn't he, with the seva aspect. You know, it's wonderful. I noticed here, I was surprised, I say, gosh, everything is running smoothly, really. And I see all these people working and I realize they all volunteer. Because you get used to this retreat where people pay for it, you know. They give donation to the monastery, but they pay for it and they don't do anything. You just sit up for a nice breakfast and get to the retreat and so on. They don't have to clean anything. Or help. But I think this is so, such an advantage to be able to support the retreat like that. It's very beautiful. And so to be, a lot of the practice at first, begin with, remember, generosity, the heart of generosity. And when I remember waking up to my life, the first thing I felt, I came from a generous family. I never thought I was mean or anything like that, But when I started looking a little bit at the teaching maybe it was a teaching of the Buddha, or maybe even a Christian, because I was going to different places for being on retreat in silence, on my own, before I became a Buddhist nun. And I think generosity is also very important in all religion, yeah? But you feel that, for me, the first sign of really, this generosity was wanting to give others, to give, even also to not be so packed with stuff, for me, just to, not be so concerned about how much I can get, but letting it go and passing it on to people. And when I read the teaching of the Buddha on generosity being the first step, on the paramita, you can see how important it is to stop being so concerned about oneself. It's very difficult because we have been brought up to be really selfish, and self-centered. When the little kids at Amaravati come to the summer camp and the family camp, they are taught that the monks and nuns go on pindapat, and back in Thailand, the little baby, the little kids, go give something in the alms bowl. In Thailand, you have the baby in the arms of the mother, and they take a bit of rice with the hands of the little baby, and they put it in so touching, so moving, it's very beautiful. To learn how to give rather than to grasp, And Amaravati summer camp really is very keen on that, to teach the kids to be open-handed and not thinking about me alone. This is a training, aren't we? We're trained to think like that. In fact, we're not trained at all. That's why we think like that. So we're coming to the end, and Mr. Da is writing away, and I realize we might have to end. Please, yeah. Mr. Da is the ultimate translator for me, because I've always been frightened of being translated by people who would not sort of ask me to stop every few words, or they will feel nervous, and Mr. Da, you're so discreet, you completely disappear.
अजान ने आज अपना प्रवचन शुरू किया हमको याद दिलाने की कि रिट्रीट के आधा समय बीत गया है, 26 दिसंबर आ गई और ये वर्ष का अंत आने वाला है, और याद दिलाया कि किस तरह हम समय और ऋतु से प्रभावित होते हैं। क्रिसमस था तो क्रिसमस के बारे में कमेंट किया कि कितना फेस्टिवल सीजन रहता है यूरोप में, गिफ्ट्स और ट्रीज और एक हॉलिडे का भाव रहता है सब तरफ। और कुछ लोग ऐसे भी होते हैं जो उस समय ध्यान कर रहे हैं और साइलेंट रिट्रीट्स में बैठे हैं। उन्होंने बताया कि अमरावती में भी न्यू ईयर रिट्रीट होती है, बहुत पॉपुलर है, और उसके अंत में एक बॉनफायर की जाती है ईयर एंड होने पे, और सब लोग अपने अच्छे इंटेंशंस लाते हैं कि अगले साल ये करेंगे और ये सब छोड़ेंगे। बेशक वो इंटेंशंस बहुत समय तक ना रहे, लेकिन उसको ये भाव लाना कि इसको छोड़ना है, वही अपने बहुत खुशी की बात होती है। और संसार में कुछ ना कुछ समय ऐसा रखते हैं जिसमें हम एक सेलिब्रेशन एटीट्यूड में रहें, और सब कुछ समय के अनुसार होता है, कुछ समय पे ये होगा, उस समय पे ये होगा। और आजकल हमारा सारा लाइफ टाइम भी कमेंट कर रही थी कि बिल्कुल समय के हिसाब से होता है कि ये मील टाइम है, ये ब्रेकफास्ट टाइम है, ये रिट्रीट टाइम है। और ये आपका विचार था कि ये हमारे जीवन का ही एक स्वरूप है कि वो अपने आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में ऑर्गेनाइज अपने आप को कर लेता है, ताकि हम वो कर सकें जो उचित समय पे जो हमें करना है। लेकिन हमको ऐसा विचार नहीं रखना चाहिए कि हम अगर धर्म को समझ गए और तो बस समझने से ही सब कुछ हमको मालूम पड़ जाएगा धर्म की समझ से, और हमें कुछ एक्चुअल ऑब्जर्वेशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है। तो ये उनका इशारा इसी तरफ था जो सुबह भी चर्चा हो रही थी कि ऑब्जर्वेशन और इन्वेस्टिगेशन बहुत आवश्यक है हमारे जीवन में। एक और कमेंट उन्होंने किया कि महिलाओं के बारे में जनरली कहा जाता है कि वो बहुत इमोशनल होती हैं, जब अपसेट हो जाती हैं जल्दी, और लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है उनको विचार में कि पुरुष भी इमोशनल होते हैं, अपसेट होते हैं, लेकिन वो सोशल एटिकेट ऐसा बना लिया गया है कि आपको अपना इमोशन प्रकट नहीं करना, उसको सप्रेस करना है। और हमारा ध्यान उन्हें आकर्षित किया कि अगर कोई चीज दिखती नहीं है तो इसका मतलब नहीं है कि वो है नहीं। तो ये एक महत्वपूर्ण बात हमको ख्याल में रखनी चाहिए। और फिर ध्यान फिर से आकर्षित किया कि हमको जीवन तो चलता रहता है, हमको अगर सजग होकर इन्वेस्टिगेट करना चाहिए कि क्या हो रहा है जीवन में। हर चीज जो सामने आती है उसको समझदारी से इन्वेस्टिगेट करना चाहिए। और जैसे कि उन्होंने बताया कि अगर मेरे सामने कोई आता है जो अच्छा व्यवहार करता है, इज काइंड एंड हैप्पी, तो मुझे भी अच्छी फीलिंग होती है, गेट हैप्पी फीलिंग। और मुस्कुरा के बात करता है, अच्छे मानस से बात करता है तो अच्छा लगता है। कोई और आता है जो अपने आप में उलझा हुआ है तो उसको देख के उतना प्रसन्नता नहीं होती। ये सिर्फ जस्ट इसको भी, इस परिस्थिति को, मन की स्थिति को भी ऑब्जर्व करने से हमें मालूम पड़ता है कि जैसे मेरी शब्द टोन ऑफ वॉइस कैसी है। मैं अगर मैत्री से बोल रही हूँ या बहुत गुस्से से बोल रही हूँ, उसका भी बहुत फर्क पड़ता है। यद्यपि जो मुझे कहना है वो सत्य है, फिर भी अगर मेरी टोन ऑफ द वॉइस ठीक नहीं है तो उसका इफेक्ट उतना नहीं होगा। तो ये सब बातें ऑब्जर्व करने की हैं, और जब हम कीनली ऑब्जर्व करेंगे, सजगता रहेगी, तो तभी ये बातें समझ में आने लगती हैं। जब हम किसी आपस में इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, कई बार हम नोट करते हैं कि दूसरा हमारे को इस दृष्टि से देख रहा है जैसे कि मैं बहुत कोई टायरेंट हूँ, तो उसको प्रतिक्रिया करने के बदले अगर हम उसको इन्वेस्टिगेट करें कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, तो काफी सीखने को बात हमें अपने मन के बारे में, अपने व्यवहार के बारे में सीखने को अपॉर्चुनिटी रहती है। और उन्होंने याद दिलाया कि जो 60s में जनरेशन थी हिप्पीज वगैरह को, उनको एशिया में जाना पड़ा घूम कर नाना प्रकार के देशों में, ताकि कुछ चित्त के बारे में समझ सकें। और अंततः अब वो स्विट्जरलैंड और यूरोप में जाते हैं रिट्रीट में बैठने के लिए। तो इतना फर्क हो गया है धर्म के प्रचार से। फिर उन्होंने एक सूत्र का ध्यान दिलाया जिसमें कहा जाता है कि संसार क्या है, तो कि दुख का अंत तब तक नहीं हो सकता जब तक हम संसार के अंत तक नहीं चाहते, लेकिन संसार का अंत सिर्फ चलने से नहीं होता। वो जो सूत्र आता है रोहितास वाला, सामान्यतः हम समझते हैं कि संसार में बहुत कष्ट है, बहुत दुख है, और दुर्भाग्य से काफी लोग ऐसे हैं जो सफर भी करते हैं फिर भी जानते नहीं है कि वो सफर कर रहे हैं। तो हम लोग जो ध्यान करते हैं, कहते हैं कि हम समझ गए हैं, ये अनित्य है, दुख है, अनंत है, सिर्फ कहते हैं, लेकिन वो उसको सचमुच में हृदयंगम नहीं कर पाते। इस कारण से भी दिक्कतें होती हैं। एक और बात पे उन्होंने ध्यान आकर्षित किया कि जब हम कहते हैं कि हमारे रिलेशन ठीक नहीं है, तो ये भी हम ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं कि कुछ स्थान पे, कुछ व्यक्तियों से या कुछ परिस्थितियों में तो हम नॉर्मल बिहेव करते हैं, लेकिन कुछ और परिस्थितियों में ऐसा नहीं हो पाता। तो उन्होंने ध्यान दिलाया कि हमारी कुछ रिलेशनशिप की कुछ बाउंड्रीज भी हैं, जिनके बारे में हम अगर इन्वेस्टिगेट करें ध्यान से, मतलब ठीक से सजग होके माइंडफुल रहें, तो हमें मालूम पड़ने लगता है कि क्या हो रहा है, हमारा व्यवहार कैसा है, हमारा मानस कैसा चल रहा है। लेकिन अगर माइंडफुलनेस रहे, लेकिन ये भाव, मैं का भाव भी रहे, तो थोड़ी गड़बड़ होने की भी संभावना रहती है। फिर बाद में उन्होंने बार बार ये हमारे को ध्यान आकर्षित किया कि इट इज फंडामेंटल टू नो आवरसेल्व्स। भगवान की शिक्षा जो है हमको एक मैप देती है, एक रास्ता देती है, लेकिन काम हमको करना पड़ेगा। काम वो भी कि ऑब्जर्वेशन के माध्यम से समझना पड़ेगा। और जैसे अनित्य बोध की बात कही कि ये बात भगवान बुद्ध से पहले भी लोगों ने कही हुई है, और सभी कई विचारकों ने कही है। जैसे ग्रीक विचारक थे हेराक्लिटस, वो कहते थे कि आप उसी नदी से बार बार नहीं पास कर सकते, तो बताना चाहते थे कि सब कुछ बदल रहा है। तो ये भगवान बुद्ध का ये योगदान रहा कि उन्होंने जीवन के हर पहलू के साथ उसको जोड़ा। और ये जो हमको लगता है कि बहुत हमें लोभ है या द्वेष है, ये एक तरह से हमारे साइके में नेचुरल चीज है, और हमको इसको ठीक से देखेंगे तो तभी इससे छुटकारा पा सकते हैं। अगर उसको हम अपना एक पर्सनल इशू बना लेंगे तो मुश्किल हो जाता है। पर्सनल इशू बनाने से भी अगेन गो बैक टू द सेम मिजरी अगेन एंड अगेन एंड अगेन। हमने बताया कि मैं ले वुमेन के बारे में ज़्यादा अनुभव से नहीं कह सकती हाउ इट इज टू प्रोवाइड, लेकिन जो ऑब्जर्वेशन है उसके आधार पे वो कुछ हमको सुझाव दे सकती हैं। और अपना जीवन का उन्होंने बताया कि मैं इस बात में बहुत इंटरेस्ट था कि जीवन कैसे जिया जाए, कैसे जीवन काम करता है, क्यों मैं अगर मिजरेबल हूँ तो क्यों मिजरेबल हूँ, क्या कोई और उसके लिए किसी मेरी मिजरी के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है या मैं खुद रिस्पॉन्सिबल हूँ। तो बताया कि बुद्धिस्ट नन बनने से पहले भी ये इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एटीट्यूड उनका रहता था, क्योंकि किसी दूसरे को ब्लेम करते हैं तो एक तरह का एडिक्शन हो जाता है कि हर फॉर सफरिंग्स। तो उनका विचार था कि हमको अपने जीवन की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेनी चाहिए और दूसरों के ऊपर दोषारोपित नहीं करना चाहिए। तो एक पर्सनल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का भाव आना चाहिए और ये भाव नहीं रहना चाहिए कि लोग दूसरे लोग ही हमारी सब बात का ख्याल रखेंगे, दैट वी हैव टू बी फेड ऑल द टाइम बाय अदर्स। अपना जीवन अपने हाथ में लेना चाहिए। तो वीर की बात हमको समझा रहे थे। और भगवान बुद्ध की एक और खास बात उन्होंने बताई कि उन्होंने कोई भी स्पिरिचुअल टीचिंग को सीक्रेट नहीं लगा, सब कुछ स्पष्ट हमारे सामने रखा। अब ये हम पे है कि हम उसको ठीक से पालन करें। तो बताती हैं कि मैं फिर नन क्यों बनी, जब मैं इतना इन्वेस्टिगेट करती थी। उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे कई अपने चित्त की कई चीजों को कैसे हैंडल करना है ये समझ नहीं आता था। तो उन्होंने बताया कि जब रिट्रीट्स में जाते हैं, लोग साधना करते हैं गहराई से, तो कई लोग जो हैं वो इस तरह से करते हैं कि कोई बात में उसका इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। कई लोग उसको गलत तरह से करते हैं, गंदे को क्रेजी, और वो नाना प्रकार के परेशानियों में आ जाते हैं। किसी को लगता है कि मैं मुक्त हो गया या एनलाइटन हो गया या क्राइस्ट बन गया, एंड देन इट कैन लीड टू सो मेनी डिफिकल्टीज। सम्मान कई बार वो उसका कारण यही होता है कि हमने कंसंट्रेशन बनाई लेकिन विजडम जो प्रज्ञा है वो साथ नहीं थी। इसलिए अच्छे मेंटर्स महसूस हुआ कि एक अच्छे टीचर की, जैसे पहले उन्होंने बताया था, अजान सुमेधो मिलने के बाद उनको लगा कि एक अच्छे टीचर हैं तो उनके साथ काम करने से लाभ होगा। और इस साधना प्रक्रिया के लिए एक फंडामेंटल बात उन्होंने कही, बीइंग एथिकल विद वन सेल्फ। कि अपने, एक तो बात हम सामान्यतः कहते हैं बीइंग एथिकल विद अदर्स, वो भी बहुत आवश्यक है, लेकिन उन्होंने ध्यान किया कि अपने प्रति भी हमें होना चाहिए, मतलब बी वर्दी ऑफ रेस्पेक्ट। तो संसार, उनका विचार था जो चाइनीज विस्फर है कि आपने कहा कुछ और जाके बात आगे बढ़ते बढ़ते पता नहीं कहाँ पहुंच गई। किसी ने कुछ चूहे के बारे में बात कही और वो जाके कुत्ते के बारे में बात पहुंच गई। ऐसा उदाहरण उन्होंने दिया कि ये सब संसार क्या, ये स्वरूप जो है ऐसा ही रहेगा। मीडिया भी आजकल ऐसा ही है, तो हमको उन बातों से प्रभावित नहीं होना चाहिए। तो उन्होंने ध्यान दिलाया कि धम्मपद की जो पहली दो गाथाएं हैं, मनोपभंगा वाली गाथाएं, कि अगर हम अनस्किलफुल काम करेंगे, चित्त से अकुशल चित्त से काम करेंगे तो दुख हमारे पीछे पड़ जाएगा। जैसे कि एक पहिया जो है, गाड़ी का पहिया उसके बैल के पीछे पड़ जाता है, और अगर हम कुशल चित्त से काम करेंगे तो सुख हमारे साथ ऐसे पड़ेगा जैसे कि एक छाया है जो हमारे साथ हमें रहती है। और छाया हमारे पर कोई बोझ नहीं डालती, जबकि जो चैरियट है वो अब उस बैल पे बहुत बोझ होता है। इसलिए ये एक बहुत स्मरणीय उदाहरण है कि हमको याद रखना चाहिए कि अगर कहीं भी हमको दुख होता है तो कहीं ना कहीं हमारी तरफ से अकुशल चित्त के कारण ही हुआ होगा। तो इसलिए वो उसने हमको एडवाइस दिया कि हमको सारा जीवन सिर्फ कंप्लेन करने में नहीं रहना चाहिए कि ऐसा हो रहा है और इसके कारण दुख हो रहा है, क्योंकि दुख का इवेंचुअली कारण हमारा अकुशल चित्त ही है। कई बार हम लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि मैं ये ऐसा नहीं कर सकती, मेरा जीवन तो ऐसा ही मिजरेबल ही है। तो बेसिकली हमारी पुरानी आदतें हैं जो हम उसको हमको मिजरेबल बना के रखती हैं। दुर्भाग्य ये है कि हम बहुत चतुर हैं और उस चतुराई को हम अपनी मिजरी बढ़ाने के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं। हालांकि धर्म की बात ऐसी होनी चाहिए थी कि हमारी चतुराई से हम अपनी मिजरी से निकल सकें। तो उन्होंने बताया एक जय कृष्णमूर्ति से जो उनकी पढ़ाई है उनसे सीखा, उसमें एक बात भी थी कि उन्होंने सुना उनसे कि जो विचार हैं दे कम फ्रॉम फियर, भय के कारण विचार ज्यादा आते हैं। तो उन्होंने फिर उसको एक्सपेरिमेंट करके देखा कि क्या सचमुच में ऐसा है। तो पाया कि जैसे ही हम चिंतन भविष्य की भविष्य के बारे में कुछ अप्रिहेंशन होता है, कुछ भय होता है, तो तुरंत विचारों की श्रृंखला शुरू हो जाती है। जबकि जब चित्त शांत हो, सुखी हो, तो विचार डिसअपियर होने लगते हैं। तो ये इस तरह से इन्वेस्टिगेट कर करके वो बात सत्य को समझी ठीक से। तो इसीलिए कहा जाता है कि मैत्री का भाव बहुत लाभकारी है, लविंग काइंडनेस, क्योंकि उससे चित्त हमारा शांत होता है, एक सेंस ऑफ बैलेंस आता है, और उसके आधार पर जब हम काम करते हैं तो फिर वो मिजरी और बेचैनी नहीं बढ़ाता है। और फिर हम वी कम टू पीस विद अवरसेल्व्स, आपस में हमने अपने आप से हमारा जो एक दुर्भाव रहता है वो नहीं रहता। और फिर उस चित्त से जब काम करेंगे तो जो साधना के आयाम है वो बैलेंस होने के रखते हैं। जैसे बताया कि जो समाधि है, कंसंट्रेशन है और सती है, वो बैलेंस होनी चाहिए। अगर हम, और जिस तरह वीर्य बैलेंस होना चाहिए, बहुत ज्यादा वीर्य लगाएंगे तो उदाहरण के लिए उन्होंने कहा सिर में दर्द हो जाता है, और वीर्य काफी नहीं होगा तो हम सोने लग जाते हैं। तो हर चीज को बैलेंस में रखना है, मध्यम मार्ग की बात समझाई। और उन्होंने एक ह्यूमरस से वो भी बताया कि लोग कई बार मोनास्ट्री की बात बता रहे थे कि जैसे सारी रात जागना होता है, तो कई बार लोग इतने अनुभव के बार बार के इस अनुभव को देखते हुए कि नींद आ रही है, वो एक ऐसा शरीर और मन का ऐसा अपने आप प्रपंच चलता है कि ऐसा लगता है कि साधक बैठा हुआ है लेकिन वो सो रहा होता है। तो लेकिन दूसरी तरफ जिनमें अहम की भाव कम होगा, तो वो अगर उनको नींद आ रही है और झुक भी रहे हैं तो उन्हें कोई उससे दुख नहीं होता कि ऐसा हो रहा है। लोगों को अगर वो, क्योंकि सेल्फ ईगो कम हो गई है, अपनी सेल्फ इमेज कम हो गई है, तो अगर जो ध्यान करते हुए रात में जाग रहे हैं और सिर झुक भी रहा है तो उनको लगता है तो स्वाभाविक है, तो उसमें कोई बुरा मानने की या अपनी सेल्फ इमेज खराब हो जाएगी। उन्होंने कहा कि ऐसे बहुत अच्छी नन्स वो जानती हैं जो उस बात को माइंड नहीं करती। तो बेसिकली वो ध्यान दिला रही है कि सेल्फ इमेज के कारण ही हम काफी अननेसेसरी सफरिंग अपने लिए इकट्ठी कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि हमारी ईगो इन्वॉल्व हो जाती है। और अगर ईगो इन्वॉल्व ना हो तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहेगी। एक और बात जो उन्होंने कही कि लाइफ इज ए विन विन सिचुएशन। अगर हम कोई काम ठीक करते हैं तो अच्छी बात है, प्रसन्नता तो होती है, और अगर गलती करते हैं तो उस गलती से हम सीख सकते हैं, तो वो भी हमारे लिए एक अच्छी बात ही हो जाती है। तो इस तरह का पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड रहेंगे साधना में, तो सचमुच में हमको ये बात नहीं रहेगा कि मेरे से साधना नहीं हो रही, मेरा मन बेचैन होता है, मेरे को ये परेशानी है, क्योंकि हर चीज हमको कुछ ना कुछ सिखा सकती है। दुर्भाग्य से समाज भी हमको, जो आज सामान्य समाज हमको यही सिखाता है कि हमको बहुत जैसे को तैसे का भाव रखना चाहिए और एग्रेसिवली रिस्पॉन्ड करना चाहिए। कोई हर्ट करता है तो एग्रेसिवली रिस्पॉन्ड करना चाहिए। और खासतौर पे महिलाओं की बात करते हुए उन्होंने कहा कि हमको हमेशा सुंदर दिखना चाहिए, चाहे हम बूढ़े हो गए हों, चाहे मरणासन पे भी हों। उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने कई बार देखा है कि मरणासन स्त्री भी अपने को मेकअप बना के रखती है। तो ये जो भाव बना हुआ है सेल्फ इमेज का, वो हमको बहुत दुख देता है। हमको इस बात को समझना चाहिए। वो उदाहरणों से हमको समझा रही हैं कि अगर सेल्फ इमेज रहेगी तो दुख होगा ही। इस हद तक कि मरणासन होके भी आदमी अपनी चाहता है कि मैं अच्छा दिखूं। उन्होंने बताया कि उन्होंने कई ऐसे मरणासन व्यक्तियों को देखा है और उनसे काफी सीखने को मिलता है। कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो मृत्यु की अवस्था में भी बहुत शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से प्राण छोड़ते हैं, क्योंकि वो साधना ठीक से करते थे। फिर उन्हें एक धम्मा टीचर की बात एक बताई, जो कि वहाँ पे मैत्री के वर्कशॉप करने आए थे, और उसी रात को उनका अगले सुबह देहावसान हो गया। जबकि उस समय जो मॉन्क्स थे मोनास्ट्री में, वो प्रतिमोक्ष की चैंटिंग कर रहे थे। तो बता रही थी कि सच आर्मियों का भी ऐसा प्रभाव हमें लगता है कि ऐसा होता है। फिर उन्हें ध्यान हमारा दिलाया कि जीवन को हमको क्रिएटिवली जीना चाहिए, एक रूढ़िवादी के तरीके से कि ऐसे ही होना चाहिए, ये बात छोड़नी चाहिए, क्योंकि तभी हम ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन अपने जीवन में कर सकते हैं। अब जो स्ट्रेस है वो बहुत सारी डिस्पेयर भी आती है, बहुत बेचैनी होती है, बहुत निराशा होने लगती है, और लेकिन उसको भी हमको ठीक से समझना चाहिए कि क्या उससे हम क्या सीख सकते हैं। और बार बार वही बात ध्यान कर रही थी कि कंसंट्रेशन और माइंडफुलनेस को हमको बैलेंस रखना चाहिए। और फिर उन्होंने दृष्टांत दिया कि 10 दिन की रिट्रीट करने के बाद हम सोचते हैं कि बहुत अच्छा लगता है, बाहर जाते हैं, घर जाते हैं तो आते ही नाना प्रकार की परिस्थितियां आती हैं, फिर हम रिएक्ट करते हैं तो फिर हमारे घर वाले कहते हैं तुम यही सीख के आए हो, तो ये जो तुम सीखती है वो ठीक नहीं है, और फिर वो मन हमारा विचलित होने लगता है। तो ये सब इसीलिए है कि हमने ये सोच लिया कि हमारी सब सजगता जो है, माइंडफुलनेस जो है, सती है, वो तभी डेवलप होगी जब हम 10 दिन की रिट्रीट में जाएंगे, शांति से बैठेंगे, कोई बेचैन नहीं करेगा, समय पे खाना मिल जाएगा, कुछ काम नहीं करना पड़ेगा। लेकिन जीवन ऐसे चलता नहीं है। हमको ये सोचना चाहिए कि जब हम जीवन में हमारे सामने एक कठिन परिस्थिति आई है तो वो तो इतना सुनहरा मौका है हमको अपनी सती जगाने का, अपनी माइंडफुलनेस जगाने का। तो हमको रिट्रीट में बार बार भागने की जरूरत नहीं है। तो उन्होंने बताया कि मेरे जीवन की जो ट्रेजिक स्टोरीज थी वो जैसे जैसे उनसे सामंजस्य बिठा लिया, यू कम टू पीस विद देम, दे बिकम फनी स्टोरीज। एंड ये मेरे विचार में बहुत हमारे लिए विचारणीय विषय है कि किस तरह से हम अपने जीवन की परिस्थितियों से वंस वी कम टू पीस विद इट, हाउ वी कैन बेनिफिट फ्रॉम देम। तो उन्होंने मजाकिया लहज़ में कहा कि आजकल इतनी टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप हो गई है, कितना अच्छा हो कि ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप हो जाए कि आप टीवी देख रहे हैं और आपका माइंडफुलनेस कम हुआ तो टीवी बंद हो जाएगा, वो कहेगा पहले सजग हो जाओ फिर टीवी खुलेगा। या आपकी मैत्री का एक गैजेट बन जाए कि अगर आप में मैत्री नहीं है तो आपके टीवी नहीं चलेगा या ये काम नहीं होगा। तो इस तरह के गैजेट बना रहे हैं। तो जो हमारे इंजीनियर लोग हैं उनके लिए एक रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट है ये, तो चाहे तो कर सकते हैं। दीपक जी सुन सकते हैं इसको क्योंकि वो करते रहते हैं काम। तो उन्होंने हमारा एक और बात ध्यान आकर्षित किया कि हम सामान्यतः हर समय यही कुछ भी करते हैं तो कुछ ना कुछ प्राप्त करने के लिए काम करते हैं, और मेडिटेशन भी उसी एटीट्यूड से करते हैं। तो हमको अगर कुछ प्राप्ति करना है तो वी शुड ट्राई टू बी वाइज, दैट इज द थिंग विच इज वर्थ अटेनिंग। लेकिन वो सब करते भी अगर मैं वाइज हो रहा हूँ एंड वी गेट बॉग डाउन विद मी, तो फिर वो सारा एफर्ट जो है उल्टा पड़ जाता है। और फिर हमको यही लगता है कि कोई हमारा अच्छा दोस्त हो जो हमारी सब बात सुने, हमको प्यार से ट्रीट करे। और उन्होंने कहा कि सचमुच में ऐसा होना भी चाहिए। तो अच्छे मित्र होना, इसीलिए हमारे आध्यात्मिक जर्नी में भगवान भी कहते हैं कि अच्छे कल्याण मित्र होना बहुत लाभदायक होता है, जो कि हमको एक विषम परिस्थिति में भी दे हेल्प अस टू गेट अ गुड सेंस ऑफ वेल बीइंग, गेट अ बैलेंस हमारा दोबारा से बनाए। और बैलेंस बन जाता है तो फिर हम दोबारा से अपनी खोई हुई सजगता को प्राप्त करते हैं, और देन वी कैन गेट गोइंग ऑन द लाइफ। उन्होंने गोयनका जी की रिट्रीट्स का उदाहरण देते हुए कहा कि वहां पे लोग जैसे निस्वार्थ भाव से सेवा करते हैं, बहुत अच्छा लगता है। और वो जो सेवा का भाव है, जो कुछ देने का भाव है, जो जनदान का भाव है, जनरोसिटी का, वो बहुत ही बेसिक फैक्टर है जिसको कि हम सबको अपने जीवन में अडॉप्ट करना चाहिए। तो उन्होंने कहा कि रिट्रीट्स में भी, और अपने जीवन का बात बताते हुए कहा कि मैं बचपन से ही हमको ये मेरा भाव था कि मैं ये नहीं था कि मुझे कितना मिलेगा लेकिन मैं कितना दे सकती हूँ, ये भाव था। और बुद्धिस्ट नन बनने से पहले भी और रिट्रीट्स में जाती थी तो उनको यही भाव आता था। और बाद में जब भगवान की टीचिंग के सम्मुख आई और उन्होंने सीखा कि दान सबसे बड़ी बात है, तो बहुत एक मोद हुआ उस बात को जान के कि हमको निरंतरता से अपने बारे में ही कंसर्न नहीं रहने चाहिए, हमको क्या कुछ हम दे सकते हैं वो बात बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। और एक उदाहरण देते हुए उन्होंने कहा कि थाईलैंड में जब पिंडपात के लिए जाते हैं तो माएँ छोटे छोटे बच्चों को अपनी गोद में रख के उनसे कहती हैं कि आप भोजन डालो भिक्षु के लिए। तो बहुत ही टचिंग सीन होता है क्योंकि वो बच्चे को छोटेपन से ही देने का भाव सिखा रही हैं। तो उन्होंने बताया कि अमरावती में भी हमारे जो समर कैंप होते हैं उसमें बच्चे आते हैं, उनको भी हम जनरोसिटी, दान के बारे में बहुत महत्व देते हैं।
We have a little bit of a longer evening, And we can just finish with the closing homage.
We'll first acknowledge the teacher. First acknowledge the teacher.
Excuse me, no, I think I misunderstood what you said. We're just going to turn around and then I'll do the Nicole and I together, all together, yeah.
Acknowledge.
Acknowledging the teachings. Andmayang Dhammakataya Sadhukaram Dadama Se Sad 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 Anmodam.
So Ajahn, we have to do the metta. You have to do the metta for Rajendra-ji's wife.
That done. Yeah.
We have dedicated the whole chanting for this, yeah. We can do also a metta chant now, if you're not too tired. I think we can just go and do the closing homage. She's already had a splash.